You know when you're having one of those days where nothing is going to plan? Your hair is just not behaving itself. Your skin looks like weirdly different and just not like your skin. In fact, it looks like you've aged 5 years. And don't even get me started on clothes. All of a sudden, you have nothing to wear. Now, I want you to compare that to the days where you managed to put an outfit together as if you're your own personal stylist. Your skin is looking great. Your makeup is just sitting perfectly. Everything just looks effortlessly chic. Everything is just fitting so well together. You walk into a room differently. You know the difference. That is what I call the confidence layer. Today we're going to talk about what it is, how you use it, and how you use it in a way where you don't depend on it. Welcome to my very first episode of the Beauty Breakfast Club podcast. If you already read my newsletter, then think of this as moving from your inbox to sitting and having a coffee with me and just chatting. I'm feeling inspired by the end of it. I'm feeling like someone relates with a lot of what you go through. This is the well-needed chat that we both need. This is where we talk about beauty in every sense of the word. Makeup, skincare, fashion, confidence, and I'll be honest, some very well-needed rants that I know for a fact you're going to relate to. I've been in the industry for over 20 years, working with hundreds of different faces. I've worked on celebrities, I've worked on royalty, I still do. I've worked on the everyday, average person, all types of ages, different skin tones, you name it. And if there's one thing that I've learnt, it's that beauty isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling good. It's about how it changes the way that you feel about yourself and how you end up carrying yourself. It changes the way that you walk into a room. It changes the way you feel about yourself. It changes your confidence. It changes everything to do with what you do during the day. So whether you're the type that prefers a tinted moisturizer or even barefaced to pop into this grocery store, or you like to do a full glam, this is your club. No matter who you are, this is your club. And today we're going to be talking about the confidence layer, how beauty can change not just how you look, but how you feel and how you walk into a room. The Beauty Breakfast Club has been going for around 2 years now. It's something I started from a deep-rooted passion of mine. I've obviously been very passionate about beauty for years and years, and I have a background in writing. So I used to work for a publication when I was living in the UK, and my job entailed everything. I was a beauty editor, so it was writing articles, doing a lot of research, as well as doing the makeup for shoots and everything. So I feel like I was a little bit kind of, well, let's just say they took full advantage of the different things that I was able to do. And since starting the Beauty Breakfast Club, I am so grateful for all of the love and support that I've got from you guys. I've got a lot of people who have come over from YouTube. If you didn't know, I have a YouTube channel which I've had around for years and years, and it's an educational beauty channel. I have a second channel now which is a bit more like quickfire beauty and fashion related, and I also have an online presence on Instagram, dabble in a little bit of TikTok, but trust me, nothing crazy. I don't have time to dance around and do all that. It's all everything is educational basically. The Beauty Breakfast Club was created so that it's an outlet for me to be able to write again and write about something that I'm passionate about. And I don't just focus on beauty. It focuses on style, life in general, the struggles that we face as we age. I'm in my 40s. I'm 45 years old. I just turned 45 in June. And I'm still not used to saying it. It still feels very weird to me. I still somehow can't believe that I'm 45. And I think mainly because I don't feel it. And that still ties into the confidence layer, because it really is about how you feel. And I think that's why I love this outlet for me to be able to write again, because it's my way of enjoying what I love without feeling the pressure of me working for someone and for someone else's deadlines. Fast forward 2 years since we started this, and we have grown to a community of nearly 6,000 people. That honestly blows my mind. I don't want you guys to think that that's a small number for me, because if you know me from YouTube, you know we're nearly at 700,000 subscribers on YouTube, and the other platforms are not far behind. But I cannot tell you how close the Beauty Breakfast Club is to my heart. Not that the others aren't, but this is something that really does stem from a deep-rooted love that I have for beauty, life, relatability, and writing. After 2 years, I think it only feels right that we just get a little bit more comfortable with each other. One of my aims with this podcast is that this is a space where you can feel comfortable too. I want you to feel like this is as much your space as it is mine. This isn't just about random chat. Trust me, we will have those, because I'm sure those parts are going to be very relatable for you. But it's educational, and not in the sense of how do you apply makeup. It's in every sense. It's in how to be more inspired, how to feel better in your life, how to adapt to the changes that as a woman you have to face, whether you like it or not, as you age. It's how to still feel beautiful, not look beautiful. It's how you feel, because if you feel it, you're naturally going to look it, because it just brings this whole different vibe, this layer of confidence. And it all stems from how we are with ourselves. If you have followed me on YouTube, then you know how important being educational is to me. So for me, that means helping anyone and everyone with anything to do with what I know I'm good at, because I do feel like sharing is really important, and being able to spread your knowledge is important. Otherwise, what is the point? Like, you're just keeping it all for yourself. Like, if I can help anyone, I would love to be able to do that. That's going to make me feel like the things that I'm good at is worth it in the end. So before we get into this chat, let's have a quick beauty breakfast brief. Let's talk about the Skims face wrap. I love the idea. I love the branding. From a business perspective, it all makes sense. But, and that's a big but, when it comes to what this face wrap is supposed to do, the Skims website is very vague, and I have tried to look everywhere, like, what does this claim to do? And it doesn't actually tell you. I think that a lot of people are just as confused as me. From what I can gather, from what it looks like, it's just shapewear for the face. But here's the problem that I have. With shapewear, you put it on under your clothes, right? And everything else, it's like a primer. It's a primer for your body. So you put the shapewear on, you put your clothes on top, and everything just skims beautifully. Your silhouette is just smoother, right? So it works great for clothes. Now, how do you deal with that when it comes to this face wrap? Because you're gonna have to take it off. It's not like I can put foundation on, I'm gonna mask everything on top. And if this really did work to lift the features and sculpt the face long term, then I don't understand why everyone is getting facelifts done left, right, and center. You wear it, you look snatched, you take it off. That's as far as I can see what happens. And everything goes right back to where it was before. Now, if you were to wear that every single day, yes, it's going to give some support to your facial ligaments. Like, it is going to help a very small amount. It's almost like doing your daily gua sha routine. So you know how we will use a gua sha to lift, and slowly over time it, helps to lift features. That helps because you're doing it on a daily basis. So from what I can tell, the Skims face wrap is a similar thing to that. But realistically, then why not just do my gua sha? Because I'm getting facial massage at the same time, It's kind of like helping with your toxins, like pushing them all in the right directions. So I don't understand why I would use the Skims face wrap instead of doing my daily gua sha, because that to me seems like a lazy girl's version of the gua sha, which is fine if you don't have time to gua sha, to be completely honest with you. I don't gua sha on a daily basis. I wish I did. I just don't have the time sometimes. So maybe it is ideal, But honestly, if you're chasing a facelift effect, a piece of stretchy fabric just isn't going to cut it. That is still, I'm sorry to say, but that is still plastic surgery territory. I mean, look, I am pretty sure that things are progressing on the facelift side of things. Look at Lindsay Lohan, although she hasn't actually openly admitted to having that done. We don't know. We're just speculating at the moment because she looks so different. She just looks like the 20-year-old Lindsay Lohan. And then we've got Kris Jenner, who's been very open about it, which I think is great. And if that's what makes her happy, then great, Anne Hathaway as well. They all look insane. If it was as easy as wearing shapewear for the face, I think we'd all be looking a bit snatched, But I just honestly don't think it's the miracle fix that people think it is. And I feel like the fact that it's very vague on the website kind of says it all too. They don't want to put any claims out there. And they've held it back a bit with it. So I feel like it's more of a marketing ploy more than anything. I don't feel comfortable with buying something like that and putting it on every day, because isn't it just going to harbor bacteria? Isn't it just going to make my face, like, I'm putting the same piece of material on my face every single day and leaving it there for hours? Like, I don't even know how that's going to be good for my skin, putting aside the structural side of things. It might be helping with pushing things up, but it's not really going to help with my skin. Okay, so the confidence layer, let's get into it. So what is the confidence layer? It's that extra something that beauty gives you, not to hide yourself, but to amplify certain parts of you. It's when you feel so put together that your body language changes. Whether you like it or not, you have to admit when you are feeling put together, it changes the way that you are. It changes your approach to things. It changes your body language. It changes your confidence. It changes the way you walk. It changes the way you carry yourself. And you don't even realize it. That's the crazy thing. I just want to add here, this isn't about wearing makeup every single day. Obviously, this is what I do. I'm a makeup artist. I don't work on clients anymore. The only clients I have are royalty, and that is it. But I haven't worked so many years, for over 20 years, to be able to just keep doing clients on an everyday basis. My aim was to expand my business and grow and be able to make my life easy, buy myself time and be comfortable in life. And thankfully, I'm getting there slowly. So as much as I am a makeup artist, I also don't believe in wearing makeup every single day. I don't believe in having to apply so many layers to feel good. So I want you to know that even though I do what I do, I don't believe that you should have to rely on makeup just to give you that confidence. It's something I feel you have to figure out as you get older, how to utilize it when you want to use it. It's about knowing the few things that kind of make you feel ready to face the world and kind of doing them when you need that extra boost. So what I'm saying is almost like your secret weapon, right? You know exactly what works for you. This isn't something that's the same for every person, but it's knowing what works for you and then knowing when you need to use it, you know? I'm pretty sure we've all had those mornings where nothing's working and you kind of just shrink a little bit. That's the best way I can put it. You kind of want to blend into the background, you know? You don't want to be noticed. I know I've been there. You'd rather not go out, and if you do really have to go out, you really don't want to be noticed. I don't know about you, but when I have those days, I go for that same set of clothes that I know helps me to blend into the background. You know, there's nothing crazy about it. For me, it's my oversized straight leg joggers, a semi-oversized t-shirt, and my Birkenstocks. That's what I wear when I just want to blend into the background, when I'm not feeling it. The feeling is kind of like how when you were at school and you wanted to sit at the back of the class because you didn't want to be asked any questions, you just didn't want to be noticed by the teacher. That's that feeling. We all have them. I still have them now and again, and sometimes I want to go with it and sometimes I don't, because I know I can't stay in this vibe all day because I have stuff to do and it's holding me back. And that's when I pull out the confidence layer. I get having those days. It's completely normal. Trust me, I have my own set of clothes that's perfect for those days, you know. I don't put makeup on. I throw a cap on because that hides me. I love caps, you know. I love caps because they hide my greasy hair sometimes. I love caps because when I'm feeling like I want to blend into the background, it hides me a little bit. It protects me. It's my kind of little protective layer. So there's nothing wrong with having those days. Embrace them if you really want to. But what I want to talk about is how you feel like that on a day where you really don't need that today. You need some confidence. You need that boost. You've got things to do, whether you like it or not. So you need to be able to use your confidence layer to help give you that boost. So I totally get it. Keep those days for when you want to blend into the background. Now think about the days when you have everything going to plan. Your hair looks great. Your skin feels great. Your makeup is sitting perfectly. Your outfit looks put together. You're like your own little personal stylist. You stand a little bit taller. You walk into rooms differently. Your body language is different. You make more eye contact. You want to be seen. Your brain is responding to how you've presented yourself. And the crazy thing is, it likes it. I feel like for me, there are certain beauty steps that make me feel like I'm putting on armor. Not armor in a defensive way, armor in a I'm ready for anything way. For you, it might be a little bit of a brighter lipstick. For someone else, it might be freshly washed hair or a certain blazer that they put on. It really does take time to figure out what that thing is for you. For me, it's a particular foundation. If I want a little bit of makeup and I can't be bothered, I'll usually put my tinted moisturiser, which is my Laura Mercier tinted moisturiser. I absolutely love it. I use both of them, the natural dewy and also the blurred matte. Really just depends on what finish I'm going for. And I use a brush to apply it. It's super quick. Sometimes that's all I put on. But on the days where I do want a little bit more effort, I do my base properly. That's the one thing that makes me feel a little bit more put together. So I put on my foundation, which is my MAC Studio Radiance foundation. It's the one foundation I feel like just immediately makes my skin look healthy, plump, bouncy, youthful. But I also apply a good concealer with it. Like I do a little bit of kind of brightening along the center, like makeup wise stuff, you know. Set it well with powder and, you know, finish off with a little bit of bronzer. Brows are nicely groomed, a little bit of lip balm. And that for me is a really easy way to give me that confidence layer, because I know that makes me feel better than when I've just either put no makeup on or just put a tinted moisturizer on. It kind of ends up pushing me to put a little bit more effort in with other areas of myself without realizing. So if I just put a tinted moisturizer on, I know I'm not really that fussed for the rest of me either. Whereas if I use the MAC Studio Radiance and I've done my base properly, then I know I'm going to put a little bit more effort in with everything else. I've already put the effort in with my base, why not carry on with everything else? It's kind of like a signal to yourself. Like, I'm switched on now, so let's stay on. Even if no one's going to see you that day, it's just the act of putting that effort in, putting your skincare on, doing your hair, making sure it's neatly scraped back, you know, or however you like to wear it. However you don't look when you're really not bothered, you know? It completely changes your mindset. I've had days where I'm working from home and I'm sitting in my loungewear all day and my hair is completely all over the place. I've not bothered with anything on my skin other than a bit of SPF. Like, I haven't even ended up putting my moisturizer on, you know? Like, those are the days I'm talking about when you want to blend into the background. My energy is on the floor. The second I get ready, even if it's a 10-minute get ready, like I've put a bit of tinted moisturizer on, like I've scraped my hair back, made it look a little bit neat, put my full skincare on, even if I haven't put my makeup on, or it's a bit of mascara, a bit of tinted moisturizer, I instantly feel more productive. I just feel like I'm ready, you know? So again, it's not just when I put my MAC Studio Radiance on, it's also when I do use my tinted moisturizer, because my days of blending into the background is when I don't put anything on. I'm not bothered about my hair. I'm not bothered about what I'm wearing. I don't care about my skin. I'm not even putting my full skincare on in the morning properly. Like, just the one bit SPF and that's it. You know, those are the days where, like I said, my energy is just not there. So even those little things, like a bit of tinted moisturizer, neatening up your hair, little things like that, and even not seeing anyone, those things can really help you. That to me is the confidence layer at work. Here's the thing, I feel like beauty should be an amplifier, not like a crutch, you know, not something I have to lean on and rely on. I feel like if you are only confident when you have a full beat, like a full cover, like everything's fully covered and everything, then that's when you need to check in with yourself, because the confidence layer shouldn't be you replacing yourself with someone else. It should be you enhancing what you already have. That way, even when you do have those days where you're skipping makeup or skipping a full beat, you still walk into a room with confidence. Okay, so here's how I'd start. Figure out what your non-negotiables are. 2 or 3 things that instantly make you feel confident. Is it good skin? Is it shaped brows? Is it a particular item of clothing? Is it brushing your hair, for example? Is it putting your jewelry on? It could be anything. You're going to make yourself a little confidence kit. So you're going to get either mini versions of those things that actually make you feel good. Keep those in your bag so that you can get that confidence even on a rush day. Or just use the original product. You don't need to get mini versions of it. Like, for example, if it is a particular blazer that you have, that kind of goes with everything, then maybe keep that with you throughout the day just in case, you know, if that's the thing that gives you that instant confidence. If it's jewelry, keep some in your bag. I know I keep a spare pair of earrings in my bag, you know, just in case, because sometimes I forget, sometimes I'm like, you know what, actually I want to change them over to something a little bit more chunky because I like it. It goes with my whole vibe today. Or keep that particular lipstick that gives you that confidence in your bag. That way you've got access to it to be able to like just put it on as and whenever you need. Whatever it is that gives you that confidence, match that to the moment within your day. Maybe if you're going into a meeting, put on that one thing that gives you that bit of confidence, whether it's a bolder lipstick, whether it is certain jewelry, or whether it's a specific type of put together look. The point is, you decide because you're in control. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that being confident or becoming confident is easy. It's really not. Well, some days it can be really easy and some days it's really not easy. Honestly, you can have the best makeup in the world, look as polished as you've ever been, and you can still end up feeling like it's just not working for you today. That's the reality of it, like, to be honest. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie about that. There are days where I've really tried with things that have worked for me most of the time, and it's just not happening. It could be something that someone said to you that's just put you off, you know, or just replaying in your mind. It could be your hormones. In my case, that is what it is sometimes. To be honest, I feel like that's just life doing life, you know? That doesn't mean that you failed at figuring out how to stay confident. It is normal to have those days. In fact, I feel like it is something you should embrace. If you're having a day and nothing is working for you, and even trying the confidence layer doesn't work for you, just go with it. Honestly, I have found that when I just fully embrace it, then it just kind of pulls me back up the next day, because I've allowed myself to fully embrace it that day. Because sometimes I feel like I need to embrace it. I need to stay hidden. I need to just sit there on my own and deal with this on my own, because that way you kind of get it out of your system. Sometimes that's what it takes. It takes you having to get it out of your system for you to feel better. I feel like we've all had those mornings where we stand in front of the mirror and you just think, oh, nothing is working. And it's frustrating because, unfortunately, confidence is not something you can just switch on or switch off whenever you feel like it. And that's not what I'm saying with this, the whole confidence layer. I'm not trying to say that you should have it at your disposal for as and when you need it. I'm saying that you know what it is that brings you that confidence, and you have it there in case you feel like you need a boost. You know, doesn't mean it's always going to work for you, but I would say majority of the time it should work for you. But don't also be afraid if it doesn't work for you on a particular day. I'm not saying that you should have control over whether you can turn it on or off. It's tied into so many different things. How we feel, our energy levels, the people around us, even what's going on in the background in our lives. It all affects how we feel on a day-to-day basis, and that in turn affects how confident we feel and how well you can kind of turn it on and off. And that's why I just want you to know that for me, the confidence layer isn't about perfection. It's just about giving yourself something that works for you, you know, as and when you need it. And sometimes it works, majority of the time it will, sometimes it doesn't, but that's okay. Lean into how you're feeling, but on the days that you really don't want to lean into it, you've got something that's going to help you, just give you a little bit of a boost. It's just kind of like another way of showing yourself that you're worth the effort. And I just always feel like you cannot rely on other people to do that for you. You've got to cheer yourself on, right? You have to learn that the person that you can rely on at the end of the day is you. You know, you cannot have expectations from other people. It's great if you have an amazing partner. I have an amazing partner and he makes me feel good. And sometimes I need to ask him to give me that boost, you know, because I need someone else to do that for me. And we've got a relationship where I can say that to him, you know, and he knows me well enough now. But I also know that I don't want to have to rely on him to make myself feel better. I need to be able to rely on myself, even on the hard days, especially on the hard days. Honestly, if you woke up today feeling less than your best, then just give yourself that little bit of assurance that, you know, there are things that you have in your life. It could be anything, like things that I've already mentioned, that give you that little bit of confidence. You know, those little things those little tweaks, those little changes and pieces of effort that you put into yourself can make you feel a certain way. And what I'm saying is figure out what those things are. And that could be whatever it means for you. A piece of clothing, jewelry, a little bit of makeup, your skincare, could be anything. But I tell you what I can promise you, that little shift, that little piece of effort that you know usually gives you confidence is definitely going to give you a little bit of a mindset shift. It's going to lift your mood a little bit. And when that changes your mood a little bit, you carry yourself differently. And when you carry yourself differently, you walk into a room differently. And when those things change, everything changes. So here's your little quick fix for the week. Upgrade just one thing about yourself before you head out. I'm not talking about full outfit change. I'm not talking about redoing your makeup. Just one small thing. If you were planning on going out barefaced, totally cool with that. I do it all the time. Maybe use a brown mascara just for today. Add something little to it, just one thing. If your hair's in a ponytail, do something intentional with it. Like slick it back in a different type of way, you know, wrap a little bit of hair around your band just to give you that kind of hair band style look, you know. Smooth it out so that it looks a little bit more intentional. See what I mean? These things that I've mentioned, they're not things that will completely transform your face and make you look like she slapped a whole load of makeup on. They're very small intentional changes. The idea is to take your look one level up, right? And this is the thing I really want you to understand, that these changes I'm talking about are so minor, but they really do make a difference. They're little things because you don't usually do that. It's so little that maybe someone else won't notice. This isn't about anyone else. This isn't about someone saying, wow, your skin looks flawless today. This isn't about someone saying, oh, I really love this hairstyle. This is about you feeling like you've put a little bit of effort into yourself. This is all about how you feel. Nothing dramatic, nothing that's going to make you late, just a little step up. And that's pretty amazing how that can actually end up shifting just the way you feel. It's subtle, they're very small intentional tweaks. Small tweaks often have the biggest impact on your confidence. Listener Clubhouse, this is where I'm going to be answering some of your questions. So that's what would usually happen here. I share a confession of yours, or I answer a question, or I read your hot take on something. But since this is our first episode, I'll answer one that I've seen pop up a few times. So I've had a few comments like this, and some of them range with different makeup products, but I'm going to stick to like lipstick, but hopefully the answer will kind of answer other makeup categories anyway. So I've had some people ask me this same question about an eyeshadow or like certain foundation. I'm going to go with the lipstick one. I've had some comments about when I try this particular product. So when I try a bold lipstick, I feel like it looks great when I apply it at home, but the minute I step out, I feel very self-conscious. So rather than giving me confidence, it ends up making me feel very kind of just conscious of myself. Like, how do I get past that? And I actually think this is a really good question because I feel like so many of us have been there, myself included. Like, you try on that lip color or whatever it may be, you feel like you look amazing. You love how it's like the confidence it's giving you in front of the mirror, but then you step out and you're like, literally you just left the confidence at the front door. It's like, where did all that go? You know, I get it. Trust me, that's happened to me before. You just feel like you've got a neon sign on your forehead, just like, look at me. And that's how you feel for the rest of the day. 9 times out of 10, you'll end up wiping it off. And then immediately you'll just feel like, okay, now I feel normal. Now I feel like I blend into the background. Honestly, the confidence doesn't come with the bold color or whether you think the shade suits you. It's honestly about how comfortable you feel wearing it. I would not put something on that you feel uncomfortable in. I am such a strong believer in wearing, like clothing wise or makeup or hair, having a style and wearing things that you feel comfortable. Comfort is the first thing that's going to get you to the next step of confidence. And like anything, comfort builds with time. It's not about flipping a switch, it's about easing yourself into it in time. One way to do this is practice first. So rather than just put it on and feel great for 5 minutes in front of the mirror and then feel like a complete disaster as you walk out, practice. Do a few practice runs and do it in low pressure environments. Like wear your bold lipstick, for example, to, I don't know, run a very quick errand. Something like if you're in a rush, something that you know you haven't got time to think about it too much, so you've kind of put it on, but the minute you step out the door, you know you're in a rush, so you don't have time to kind of think about how this feels or looks on you. So you just go with it. And before you know it, at the end of it, you're like, I did not even notice anyone looking at me because they probably weren't to begin with anyway. Don't go all in with a bold lip. Like if let's just say if the lipstick is a thing that you feel that is something that you want to try, right? Something bolder. You feel like you get that feeling as you walk out and you're like, I don't know where all my confidence went. Start small and then build yourself up. So apply it, but make it really like transparent. So wear it for a few days where it's just not so bold and you've pressed a tissue over it to just kind of take the excess off, you've lightened it up a little bit. Wear it like that for a few days, get used to that, let that become really comfortable to you, and then you're going to make it a little bit deeper later on. So you see what I mean? You're slowly building it up. The point is to try and get yourself used to seeing yourself in that colour, but slowly and gradually making it bolder throughout the week or throughout the weeks. There's no added pressure of immediately going from a natural, barely there lip to a bold lip, you transitioned yourself into it. And to be honest, I'm not going to lie, most people are worried about themselves than sitting there worrying about how you look. So don't think about other people. This is about you feeling comfortable in it. I know how it feels to feel like all eyes are on you, and that's why repetition is so important. It's so powerful because the more you normalize it with yourself, the more confident you'll feel when you're out in front of other people. And another trick for you is, if we're talking about bold lipsticks here, is to make everything else match it. So for example, if it is a bold lipstick, tone down everything else so that it doesn't feel like you've got too much going on. That might be another spin on it to make you feel a bit more comfortable with it. That balance can make you feel less done and a bit more polished. Honestly, confidence is not about wearing something that you hate or forcing yourself to wear something. It's about feeling comfortable. It's about choosing what makes you feel best in that moment or mood. The more you wear that red lipstick, the more it actually might become part of your confidence layer. So that is our first episode of the Beauty Breakfast Club podcast. If you take one thing away from this today, let it be this: beauty is not shallow if it's making you feel the best version of yourself. The next episode is really exciting. Really do hope you've enjoyed this today. Make sure you do subscribe so you get every episode, and as well as that, obviously get my newsletter sent directly to your inbox, or you can head on over to thebeautybreakfastclub.com. If you enjoyed today's chat, please do share it with a friend who you feel needs reminding. A little beauty can be a really good power move. Thanks for listening or watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.